Hey people, it's Saturday, October the 3rd, 12:20 in the afternoon, and I'm not in Toronto. I'm in a completely different city right now, a small city outside of Toronto called Guelph, and I'm here visiting my girlfriend because she lives here. And say hello. And she's going to give us a little tour of downtown Guelph.
Yeah, you get to see all the spots.
So Guelph is about an hour's drive on the freeway from Toronto. Took me about 2 hours on the GO bus to get here though, because the GO bus stops constantly all over the place and takes local roads. But it was an okay ride. This is the terminal.
Rail station. It's also the train station.
Yeah, for the trains and the buses.
And there's the bus hub for local transit.
Guelph Transit, yeah, way up there. Yep.
Never take Guelph Transit, just don't do it.
Avoid Guelph Transit, according to Megan.
It's slow and crappy, you're better off on foot, trust me. So that cafe, the Cornerstone, is like a local hipster dive, and they have really delicious curried potatoes.
Yeah.
And
they have an available bathroom to use after you get off a 2-hour bus ride and you really have to pee.
And that is the City Hall right there, the old City Hall, and then the building behind it is the new City Hall. We're actually across this way.
All right.
And the road's closed over there for during COVID because all of the restaurants had patios out on the street for the summer, but usually that's like an open road where people drive, but it's just blocked off to traffic for the foreseeable future. So this place, Planet Bean, has really good coffee. That's kind of a local spot where people go to like meet for coffee.
Good coffee, Planet Bean. Yeah.
Right, so we're gonna walk down the street with City Hall. We'll walk past, and then I think maybe we'll walk up the next street and we'll just like zigzag through downtown.
Okay.
And let's see what else is here. Okay, so this part here in front of City Hall, in the wintertime they turn it into a skating rink, so you can go and just, people come with their families and they skate and they have little skating parties. And in the summer there's fountains going, but there's no fountains right now. The splash pad is closed because of COVID. So that's that, and these are all the little shops that are here. That store, DLR, has been here since, oh boy, probably 2004. I used to get all my clothes there when I was in high school.
What's the street called?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know any of the street names in Guelph. It's not like Toronto where like everything's relative to the lake and you know the street names. Here in Guelph, it's like you kind of just go past the street in front of the church and then the one where City Hall is, and then you kind of turn right and then you're on the next street, and like, I don't know, just directions are a little more intuitive.
Okay.
It's hard to...
Well, we'll see up here at the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's where the skating rink is in the winter.
Nice.
Or the splash pad in the summer when it's not COVID.
It's pretty chilly right now.
Yeah, it's probably about 10 degrees. So...
Yeah, Guelph lies west of Toronto, maybe slightly southwest, maybe? I don't know, maybe kind of a...
It's a little southwest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of between Toronto and London.
Yeah.
So in that direction.
And it's not far from Kitchener-Waterloo, which is just a little bit further to the west.
Yeah. It's about, if you're to drive to Kitchener from here, it's about 20 minutes driving.
Right.
Or you can walk there in about 6 hours. But
Right. Oh, so this was Carden Street. Okay.
Carden.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go on Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the parking garage they built for downtown. This is a relatively new installment. It was just like an empty field for a while until about maybe 2 years ago. And let's go this way. So a lot of the stores went out of business, unfortunately, because of COVID. There used to be a lot of really good stores along here, but they've kind of gone down the last few months, which is sad. But this place, Killer Cupcakes, she started out as a cupcake stand on the side of a road a few years back, And her cupcakes were so popular that she actually managed to open up a shop downtown, and it's one of the only stores that's still booming. So good for her. But yeah, I've never actually had a killer cupcake myself, but I hear they're killer. Let's see. Okay, so we'll go down here, and then maybe you can get a shot of the street when we get to the bottom of the street.
Okay.
Nice.
We'll just kind of...
And this place, Crappy Ramen, is also really good. They have really delicious, like ramen obviously, but they only have 4 types of ramen on the menu, and they always sell out by like noon. They have to close down. It's so delicious.
And Guelph has a population of about 150,000, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About there. This place, Wild Rose Vintage, is also really popular. People go in there. They have nice stuff. It's a popular spot to buy clothes. And there's a little Asian food market there, which is also pretty good. Yeah, when I was in high school, we used to come downtown on our lunch breaks all the time, and we would shop around in all these little shops. Kind of a precursor to my Queen West days. Yeah. So I just wander around and window shop.
Guelph is a well-known university town for southern Ontario.
Yeah.
The University of Guelph is located here, and it's a big part of the local culture of the city.
Yep, hence all the bars downtown.
Yeah.
And that's where that place, I think it's either Royal Electric or Jimmy Jazz, was where the old Trashateria used to be.
I remember the Trashateria.
Yeah, everyone remembers the Trashateria. From the 90s, it used to be in there. But they went under a little while ago. Okay, so check out that building with the bridal shop up at the top. For a long time, that building was closed and shuttered down, but people started using it to do shops and stuff, and they renovated the inside, which I was really happy to see because it's quite a beautiful space. It was built in 1882.
1882? Yeah. All right.
This is a good restaurant too.
I hear Huey Lewis in the news there.
Yeah.
So we'll just keep talking so I don't get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess that's shitty. So
I know.
This place, Lorena, is really good too that we're walking through. They've got good Mexican food.
Where? Which place?
Right here on the corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My sister used to bartend there until the pandemic hit and they had to shut down, and then she was like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So, this is Wyndham Street going this way. It's kind of one of the main...
So, Macdonnell and Wyndham are the 2 main streets, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go, take a shot down here, we can actually go in the middle of the road. But this is kind of the classic view of downtown.
The iconic view of the church.
So there's actually a bylaw in Guelph that they're not allowed to build anything taller than the Church of Our Lady, which is right there. Oh, sorry.
And it's on a big hill, so that's...
Yeah. It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
But you can see the spires from the Church of Our Lady from a lot of places in the city, because it's the tallest building in the area. And some say it is very haunted.
Oh yeah?
I believe in that.
Well, just for Halloween, I'll believe in it. Yeah.
That's right. So we can't actually walk through there because that's a dead end up there. But if we go this way, we can zigzag down the next street.
Okay.
There's at the end there, it's a dead end, and then there's a parking garage. So normally when the streets are open, people go down there to park, but it's all kind of closed off. So we'll see what else is here. Yeah, so this is typical Saturday in Guelph. Not as busy as Toronto, obviously, but still pretty hopping for a Saturday, which is nice to see.
Yeah, pretty chill. I mean, is it less hopping than it would be without the pandemic, or what?
No, it's a little more hopping.
Really?
This is as busy as I've seen it probably in years.
Wow.
So, this is a nice store too, The Patch, for secondhand clothing. That's a big thing here. There's like more secondhand clothing stores than there are actual clothing stores.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And this place, Harmony Crafts, they used to sell like crystals and incense, and they were kind of one of those new age shops, but now they've kind of transitioned to fine jewelry and clothes, which is infuriating to me, but that's okay. That's all right. We deal.
If you haven't already figured out, Guelph is known in southern Ontario for being a bit of a granola hippie town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, like the population is really split between like the hippie artist types and then like the really suburban, like, you know, gentrified out of Toronto types.
Right.
And most of the really suburban people live in the South End. And then you get more of the hippie artist people out here around downtown. So I guess kind of like any city.
Yeah.
We'll actually go down this way because it's a nice walk past the red brick. It's quite lovely. And so that's the old Quebec St Mall. There's some shops and stuff in there, but not a lot.
Oh, that's the mall with like a street inside of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go in?
Well, maybe we'll just take a peek. Yeah.
Yeah, we can take a peek.
Yeah.
We'll need a mask.
Yeah.
Mask up. There's a cool plant shop in there too, and also that restaurant, the Red Papaya, has literally survived like everything, and they never have any customers, and I don't know how they survive, but they've been around forever, like a couple decades now. But they do have very good pets. So I guess there's some kind of like...
So this wasn't a real street, right? They just kind of built this
Yeah,
fake
they,
streetscape in here? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
It wasn't, yeah, they
Yeah.
made it look like,
Yeah.
like an indoor
Yeah,
street,
yeah.
but it's not really. It used to be the old Eaton Center, actually. Until about, I think, somewhere in the mid-90s.
Okay.
Then the Eaton's, like all the Eaton's department stores closed, and now
Right.
it's this, and there's like a bunch of little shops.
Huh. Well, that's kind of cool.
These barber shops.
Yeah.
I guess there's like a maker's market, which would explain why there's so many people downtown today.
What's with all these bottles here? What's going on here? Plastic overwhelming the waterways.
Oh,
Oh, wanna head back out?
yeah.
Alright.
There's like not too much to see. There is a food court upstairs, but I don't even know if it's like still a thing.
Oh.
My doctor's office is up on the top floor there.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, people in Guelph are a lot more adamant about social distancing, I found, than in Toronto. It's kind of funny, like they're really strict about it here.
Yeah.
Like really strict. Okay, let's go that way. Across the steps. I got yelled at 3 times in a grocery store for not following the lines on the floor. But like in Toronto, no one follows the lines. Like,
And cases in Guelph are next to nothing too.
yeah,
So
we have almost
yeah.
no cases.
Yeah.
That's probably why. Because everyone's so strict about it. Okay. So this place on the corner, the Red Brick Cafe, is my favorite spot in the whole city for like just going for a coffee and sitting there. They have really good pastries. They have a lovely patio out back, and I love it. So that's a popular spot for coffee. This building here actually burned down. The Skyline condos. Or sorry, no, maybe it was the building next to it. One of these buildings here burned down a few years ago, about 4 years ago now, and they've rebuilt the inside, but there was a pretty bad fire.
Yeah.
And there's a little cake shop. Cheers.
I remember about 10 years ago there was a huge craze of cupcake shops that they just started springing up everywhere. It was like a fad, you know?
And everyone had the gourmet cupcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of, all the little cupcake shops here are a little bit of a residual of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll just pan around.
So we're on Douglas Street right now.
This is Douglas Street? Okay.
And I think when we got to the end of Douglas Street, we'll turn and go up Wyndham. Because that's a big street in Guelph.
Right.
Anyways, so yeah, as you can see, definitely kind of a sleepy little city.
It's very chill, you know. It's very chill.
It's very chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too dissimilar from my hometown, North Bay.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
It's just a little bigger, a little more southern Ontario style, whereas North Bay is northern Ontario style.
As it is.
Yeah.
North Bay.
Yeah.
That's St. George's Church. So one thing about Guelph is that people are like very attached to their churches here. There's like a really big, it's like a church town, or that's how it started.
Yeah.
And it was one of those like there's a church on every street corner kind of towns.
Yeah.
So it very much began that way, and people are still like that. Like a lot of people go to church every week, and it's a big town for that. So a lot of these places are still hopping.
Yeah.
And although that's kind of dying off a little bit now, but was the thing. And then, okay, so that place, Inksmith Tattoos, right across the street, that's where I got my first tattoos. And she was a really good tattoo artist. Her name was Christine. So if anyone's in Guelph and needs a tattoo, check her out. We're actually going to end up walking close to the building where Connor used to live.
Oh, okay. Connor's a mutual friend of ours. We all used to work together at the same place.
Those were good times.
Yeah.
So this part of downtown is not so nice. We're actually kind of outside of downtown right now. And we're going to go back into the core. And then walk a little bit. So those apartment buildings right there that are sticking up, my brother used to live there until about a month ago, and he moved in with his girlfriend, so they live in a condo down in the South End. But he lived there for about 3 years.
Right.
And move up this way. And then, so that's the Guelph concert greenhouse. And they have had performances from some actually quite well-known bands, not so much anymore, but I actually went to see Great Big Sea there a few times when I was in high school. And when they have like Guelph Storms games, they have them in there sometimes. Guelph Storms are like the local hockey team.
Yeah, isn't there an arena though for the OHL?
There is, but I think...
Is it called the something...
Yeah, I think it's behind the River Run.
Yeah, the River Run Center, isn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like fairly new, so that place over there
has
been around a lot longer. There's little boutique shops. And a lot of these places also have unfortunately gone under since COVID, but there's a few neat spots. There's a Japanese restaurant there across the street, which I've never eaten in, but I hear it's really good.
Yeah.
This place, Wyndham Arts, has been around for like probably 30 years. And they are a really good art shop. They've got a lot of good stuff in there, and they have art classes. So I went to art school when I was a kid, and I would go there for all my art supplies. That place, Dutch Toko, the European deli, which actually looks like it's gone under. Oh no, that's sad. Oh, that's really sad. They were a really cool shop too. They were a Dutch deli, and they had a lot of good like Dutch and German salamis and candies that you couldn't really get anywhere else. That's really sad. Oh, stupid COVID.
Well, hopefully, you know, when the virus is finally gone, or at least under control, lots of these empty places will find new people to come and open new businesses.
Hope so.
You know.
We hope so.
People with new ideas for new restaurants or new stores.
Or crystal shops.
Yeah.
That's the works. I think there's one in Toronto. We walked by one in our last video, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so there's our... So this place, the Sip Club, is like it's like a wine bar, and they have live music, or they did before COVID. They seem to have survived. And that's a cool little place. It's a good place for people who want to go out for a drink in the evening and you're not a university student.
Yeah.
So a little bit of an older crowd, which is nice.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna cross that way, and then we're gonna cross. We want to get over to the side where the RBC bank is, because there's some cool stuff over on that side.
Okay. I was thinking maybe to wrap up the video, we could make our way over to the church and kind of go right up to it, so you kind of get the view looking down, you know, kind of to end the video with a nice view of downtown.
So what we'll do then is we'll go through the alleyway, which will take us back to the street where the church is, and then we can go up.
Okay.
Because there's a little... So this is Quebec Street. And this is kind of like the main entryway into downtown. People coming from my end of the city will come to Quebec Street.
Right. Yeah. In Toronto, I always know exactly what's north and south and east and west, but right now I have no clue what's north, south, east, or west. I have absolutely no idea.
Love it. Turned around. Yeah.
Well,
this is
I'm
west.
Assuming this is west? Okay.
Yeah, that's west.
All right.
Roughly. It's not like perfectly west.
Because the sun is sort of setting in that direction, or getting lower.
Yeah.
So I figured that would be west. Yeah.
And I live in the west end, and we have to go that way, so that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is Quebec Street. And this is kind of the main thoroughfare.
It's kind of
And so that place, the bookshelf coming up on the corner, that's a bit of a famous bookstore. It's been around for a while. It was actually rated in the Globe and Mail a couple of years ago as being Canada's #1 bookstore. Just because they also have an independent publishing house, so you get books there that you wouldn't be able to get at like Chapters or Indigo. So they have a cool little thing going on. And there's an alleyway somewhere along here. Oh look, people lining up for donuts.
Really?
Yep.
No way.
That's the donut shop. So Majida, that cafe, is a really good restaurant, and they're owned by the big boss, so like connect right to them. And it's really delicious. So Fallowfield, this place is owned by my friend Lucy, actually. It's a kids shop right here. So feels like they should be opening. So she has her own line of kids wear, and she bought that store. I used to work with her. We worked for this company together about 4 years ago, and then she ended up moving out of the city, and she bought this Fallowfield place, and now she runs the shop, which is really cool.
Huh.
And then the church. That place knocks. They do a Saturday night supper for people who are sort of underprivileged. And when I was a kid, we used to volunteer. We had one Saturday a month where my family would be in charge of the Saturday night supper. So we'd have to go and we'd prepare the food and serve it. And so that's the big parking lot behind Knox, where a lot of people park. And on the corner there, if you can see behind the trees, behind the Norfolk sign, that's the main branch of the library.
Okay.
And my brother actually works there currently, but that's kind of the main hub.
And they're open now, the library?
Yeah, they've been open for a couple months.
Okay.
It's been a while. This place, handbags and briefcases, it's rumored to be haunted as well. People say there's a ghost up on the top floor. Oh, look at the old car. That's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know, my dream car is a 1926 Model T Ford.
That's your dream car?
That's my dream car. The ones that you have to crank
Yeah.
to get going. Oh, I would just love one of those. That's I would rather have that than a sports car. Oh, it's so cute.
How come 1926?
Because the Model Ts, that was one of the first Model Ts, and they were really posh at the time, but they have those giant steering wheels, and then they have the huge handlebar brakes, and you gotta crank it to get it going.
Yeah.
And I just always wanted one. Then I would get goggles and a scarf and just go for a little drive in my Model T.
You know, in Toronto on DuPont Street, there's an old factory building that was a Model T factory.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That would be so cool. Gotta check that out next time I'm in town. Okay. Model T folder. Yeah, so we'll go up here and then we'll get closer to the church. You can actually get pretty close because there's this staircase. So we'll go up the front and then we can turn around and see.
Okay.
There's the Guelph Civic Museum. So that building beside the church is actually the rectory, so the priest lives there, and there's a convent there of nuns as well. And then the Civic Museum is attached to...
What's that old boarded up building?
I think it was the old rectory, or it used to be. It used to be either a monastery or a convent. Some religious order lived there, and that's where Connor used to live. He was on the floor.
Haha. I'll have to send him a link to this video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it used to be a restaurant down below, but now it's a cigar.
Connor, it's your old place. He's probably gonna oh God, Guelph. Oh.
I know. Why you reminded me of that? Ugh. Yeah, Norfolk Street. Yeah. And coming up here on the left is the Albion, which is a nice little bar / pub. Again, if you're not university age and you're a little bit older, it's a good spot to go for a drink because it's a little bit of an older crowd there. You don't have your partying 21-year-olds.
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's a little bit of a more mature atmosphere.
There's a place in North Bay that's kind of similar called the Fraser.
The Fraser?
Yeah.
Same pub for older people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to cross over here and we'll go up these steps which will take us right to the front of the church.
Nice. Okay, I'm going to hold off showing this view down the street because I want to wait until we get to the top. Yeah.
always love the names of Catholic churches. Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate. Like, it just sounds so epic, you know, like just
Yeah.
so sweeping. Like, why wouldn't you go to the Basilica of Our Lady Immaculate?
Yeah. Just the word basilica alone is enough. It's like basilica.
I go to the Basilica.
Yeah.
That's right. Where do you spend your time? At the Basilica. Yeah. Yeah, so they have mass on Saturday nights here. And Sunday mornings as well.
Right. All right.
It's too bad we can't go inside. Well, maybe we can. We'll see. It might be blocked off.
We go this way? All right.
This is a bit of a touristy spot in Guelph, too. One of the more interesting buildings that we have.
Hello.
Yo, Mary, what's up? All right.
We actually set up in St. David's, not far from my dad's house in Queenston, Niagara region. And
These are very shallow steps.
I know, it's a little bit trippy, isn't it? Like, literally trippy.
Yeah. It's almost like barely steps, really. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you kind of want to step higher and then you fall down.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not quite working.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the rectory there. It's where they live, and then that's the Civic Museum. So it's like just the history of Guelph, essentially. Which, it's actually been around a while. Guelph has been a town since the 1790s, so
Yeah.
it goes back quite far. It was modeled a little bit after Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm. Kind of
So
resembles it, yeah.
yeah, so like the rose window, although at Notre Dame the rose window is at the back, so this is a bit of a scaled down version. But we go up the steps. I think it's probably closed, but we'll check it out just in case because it is really cool on the inside. But I think it's probably closed. You can go in. Yeah, I can't go in.
All right, well, the big reveal then.
Turn around.
Dun, 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 dun.
And there it is. If we go down a bit, you can probably see it better around the trees. Ta-da, it's downtown. We should go around the back of the church too, because the back is very cool.
I'll probably end the video here, but then we can go look at the back of the church. Yeah, yeah. I'll end the video with this view. Yeah. Let me see if I can get over this hedge.
There it is, downtown Guelph.
So, I hope you enjoyed this tour of Guelph. If you did, by all means, please like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your friends.
Yes, tell everyone.
Yes, hit that
Guelph's cool.
hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And by all means, keep checking back because I will continue. Catch you later. Say bye, Megan.
Bye. Subscribe. Do it.